What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Paddock, and today I am going to help you drastically improve your practice sessions. Let's make your practice time a whole lot better by avoiding these 5 very common mistakes that are probably train wrecking your practice sessions. The first big mistake that everyone makes, myself included, pretty much every saxophone player or musician you have ever met in your life makes this mistake from time to time, and that is playing things too fast. Everybody wants to have super fast chops, but you need to work your way into it. So when you are working on something and you are continually making a mistake, you are actually practicing making that mistake. So if you make the same mistake 5 times in a row, you didn't practice getting that right. You actually just practiced getting it wrong. So chances are when you play it the next time, you are going to get it wrong. So you want to make sure that when you're practicing, you are playing at an appropriate tempo and you are not making the same mistakes over and over. Here is an example. This is a technique exercise from the Chop Shop series in my sax school. I'm going to play this exercise, and in the second measure, there is a flip-flop between the C and the B. If when you're practicing this, you play it too fast, your C to B is not going to be clean, and it's going to sound like this. So I just played that 3 times in a row, and every time the C to B wasn't clean and I slowed down. So I didn't practice improving the C to B. I actually taught myself to slow down in that section and play a little sloppy. What I need to do is play slower so that I get that section down. Repeating a mistake over and over is going to train wreck your practice sessions. Then when you get it down at that tempo, speed it up a little bit. Then after you've played it at that tempo for a while and you've got it locked in, speed it up again. Then repeat the process until you are playing it at the desired tempo. Using this practice method where you gradually speed up is going to help you learn the music faster, cleaner, and a whole lot more accurately. There are going to be a lot of saxophone players who watch this video and read the comments, so leave me a comment below with your #1 practice hack. That one thing that you added into your practice sessions that gave you immediate results and really was a game changer for you. Hopefully a fellow saxophone player will read that comment and it'll be something that will resonate with them and they will be able to add it into their practice sessions as well. So leave a comment below with your #1 hack. Along those same lines is the second practice mistake that I want to talk about, and that is not using a metronome. You definitely want to use a metronome as part of your practice session. It's going to lock in your time and keep you really honest and help you with goals when it comes to tempos because you'll know exactly where you are. Now, you don't need to use a metronome every single time you practice for your entire practice session. That actually is another mistake that people make where they always put on the metronome. You want to use the metronome to help lock in your time and play clean and even, but you don't want to use the metronome so much that it becomes a crutch where you always need it to play in time. So use your metronome, but don't feel like you have to use it the entire practice session. Also, another big practice mistake that I see students make with metronomes is they put it on when they're playing a song for the first time. Now, some teachers recommend that. I don't at all. So the first time that you are playing through a new song or a new exercise, chances are you're going to be starting over a lot. You're going to be speeding up and slowing down some. So the metronome is just going to make getting through the piece that you're playing a lot more difficult for the first couple times. So the first couple times you don't need the metronome, just work through it. Try to get it under your fingers, try to get comfortable with it so you know where the music is going. Once you can play it a little bit, then put the metronome on and lock that tempo in.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The third mistake that you want to avoid in the practice room is not breaking it down. Not breaking it down. So what I mean by that is when you are playing something difficult, don't try to play the whole section at once. Break it down into small chunks. You want to have bite-sized, digestible pieces that you're working on. So don't try to play an entire section or an entire song all at once. And if you're having problems with just one part of that section, don't feel like you need to practice the entire section. Just practice the part that you're having a problem with. A perfect example of this is the tune Take the A Train. I teach this tune in my sax school in one of the improv courses, and the melody for Take the A Train is fairly easy except for the sixth measure. The sixth measure is pretty difficult. So if you're practicing Take the A Train and you're having problems with the sixth measure, start directly on that sixth measure and break that measure down to make it a whole lot easier. Don't start at the beginning every time and then get to the sixth measure and then make a mistake and then go back to the beginning and start over. Work on the sections that you're having a difficult time with. One of the most common phrases that I say in lessons and in my sax school is break it down, break it down. Another huge mistake that I run into all the time is people practicing music that is way beyond their current playing level. So you might think, oh, if I learn this one hard song or this one hard solo or this one hard improv piece, then that means I'll be able to get better even faster. That's not the way music works at all. It's all a step-by-step progression, so you need to gradually build up your skills. Think about it like lifting weights. If you want to be able to deadlift 300 pounds, you don't start off at 300 pounds. You start much lighter and work your way up. Same thing with the saxophone. You don't start off playing giant steps when you are just at the beginning of your improv journey. And the fifth big practice mistake is not setting goals for your practice session. You want to go into every practice session with a goal. It can be a small goal. I actually recommend having small goals and then you keep stacking those small goals, but you want to go in with a goal. It might be learning a new song. It might be learning a new scale. It might be cleaning up a scale. It might be learning the chords to a new section of a song. It might be learning a new song every 2 weeks. There are a zillion different goals that you could set for yourself, but with every practice session, you want to have an intention of what you're going to accomplish during that practice session. Don't just go in and pick up your saxophone and just start playing and just kind of see what happens. Actually, that can be cool. You can do that from time to time, but that is not really practicing. That is playing. That is playing the saxophone. When you're practicing the saxophone, you're trying to accomplish something. You're trying to learn something new or get better at playing something. So when you have a practice session, make sure that you are setting both short and long-term goals. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. I hope that it helps organize your practice sessions and gives you a lot of forward progress. If you'd like to dive deeper into my saxophone world, then come check me out at the Paddock Sax School. Thanks a lot.